Alright guys, we just had a little bit of lunch. Oh, and I am out of jail. I ended up getting charged with failure to identify, which wasn't required in the situation. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But Harvey come and got me out. They actually released me because they were just kind of jail dumping everybody that was a Class C misdemeanor. So my charge ended up being failure to ID. So for those who didn't know, I asked the guys at the illegal checkpoint if I would be arrested for not giving up my identification, and their response was just to arrest me instead of just saying yes. So you know, that's kind of ridiculous, but it is what it is. I spent 20 hours in jail, I think. 20 hours. And we're back on Crystal Beach, picked up the van, had a little bit of lunch. And we are going to go and make an attempt to recover Harvey's equipment. So, stick with me here. Well, let me jump out and double check with Harvey. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So we had it. I was driving on a highway, but I was stopped by. I was stopped at an illegal checkpoint. You can't just stop everybody to check. The stated purpose of the checkpoint was to check driver's licenses, and that's illegal. You can't stop people to check their papers. It's purposefully unconstitutional. But yeah, I was driving on a highway. But on top of that, I didn't refuse to give him my identification. I simply asked him if it was arrestable, if he was going to arrest me for not giving my identification. And then his response was to just arrest me. So, yeah. I don't know. What were your thoughts on that? Because I saw that you were the one that asked the question. So. Anyway, we're trying to locate the substation so that we can get over there and ask them about this stuff, because it is illegal for them to take a journalist's equipment. It's actually a felony. So that'll be interesting. But at any rate, so they arrested me. They threw me in the semi truck that had no air conditioning in it. It has air conditioning, but they kept it turned off. I know the air conditioning was functioning because just before we left, they turned it on, but everybody in there was just soaking wet, dripping sweat. Like it was not cool. There's sand all over the floor because of the beach, and then everybody's just dripping sweat into it. So it was like this nasty mix. And because it was a nasty mix, they were dumping chemicals in it, which just made it even worse. It was like poopery, you know. It stinky humans on top of chemicals. So, at any rate, then they put me over here to this little substation they've got going on, which is the jail for Crystal Beach. And I sat in there for another hour or so. Yeah, it was bad. And then they threw us in a paddy wagon and made the ride and ended up at Galveston. Of course, they're not used to intaking that many people at once, so even though they should have been prepared, they weren't quite prepared. There were extra people on hand than normal, but you know, but then there's Caldwell right there. But then while having extra cells in the back, they put 28 of us, is what I counted, in an 8-man cell. Caldwell's here. Caldwell's right there. That's kind of what I was wondering, is where the front entrance is at. I think it's actually up that way. So that was a long process, and then they ended up just releasing me on my own recognizance after charging me with failure to identify. So I'm gonna see where Harvey's gonna park. So we can stay out of everybody's way. I don't want to end up in everybody's way. But we got Caldwell here too. So we'll see how this smooths out. Doesn't. Quite worse than not cleaning it. They just dumped a bunch of chemicals on it. So I think that's the fire station, Harvey. I think there's an entrance up here.
saw
Hello.
some people.
How you doing? I just have some questions. I was arrested Friday night for walking the wrong way, and they brought me here. And when I left the jail, can you hear me? Oh, when I left the jail, both of my phones were missing, and my analytics and my tracking that I have on those phones say that they're right here. Thank you. How's your day going? Appreciate it. Hey.
It's possible that the patrol was using this building too. It's possible that they have your phone still. They didn't turn them over to us yet.
What do you mean turn them over to you?
From where we heard that they were taken.
Taken, like seized? But isn't there some kind of documentation that would show me that they're seized and not lost?
Did you call them?
Who?
Did you call
Call who?
the sheriff's office?
That's why I'm here. I didn't call anybody, I'm
It's
here.
all property. We just take it. It all gets documented over there.
Well, they told me that it's here. And look, I have tracking on it. Well, when I got out of the jail, they weren't with my property, and they told me that you guys have it here. And then I tracked it with GPS because I have Apple products, and my Apple GPS and my tracking shows that they are at this facility right now. Both of my phones. Thank you. He tried to just give me a bullshit line and get rid of me.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like the when you call to get help with your cell phone and they just tell you to go to the store and then the store tells you to call customer service and customer service tells you to go to the store. Yeah. So guys, yeah, we're just running B-roll back up for Harvey, make sure everything stays good. We got
And that's why the echo is so bad.
excessive force
This is
called
an old trash phone, and I had it activated for emergency yesterday, and the audio is terrible. So that's the reason why, because they have my good phones. And under federal law, 42 USC 2000 AA, what they did in taking my phones is federal crime. That code, or that federal law, under 42 USC 2000 AA, states that it is a federal crime to take anybody's equipment that is using that equipment to gather and disseminate news information, which is what I'm doing under the First Amendment. So right now, these people are violating federal law by having my phones.
And Caldwell's here, which make him the most senior officer on
And
duty.
Caldwell's here. The guy who was beaten, maced, and tased. Bruce is suing Caldwell right now, and he's right over there. Yes, sir.
Yeah, your phones were seized as evidence.
Seized as
Contact our ID department on Monday.
What's that?
You can contact our ID department on Monday
Where's the ID department?
at the Galveston.
In Galveston?
Yes, sir.
The sheriff's department?
Yes, sir.
So is there any kind of paperwork or anything that would show that?
I don't have it, sir.
Okay, are you guys aware of United States Code 42, 2000? Says it's a federal law to seize somebody's phone. Sir, why are you walking off?
I didn't arrest you, sir.
But I'm saying it's federal law to take somebody's equipment that's used for news gathering and disseminating, and that's what those phones were for. So y'all violated federal law by taking my phone.
I didn't, sir.
Well, I'm just letting you know the department did. All right.
So who's the most senior person in the sheriff's department on site?
There you have it. So they seized.
Sir?
They seized. We got an admission. They seized my phone. He admitted a crime just now. So that's all I wanted to know. They admitted a crime.
Well, it probably wouldn't be such a bad idea to make them more aware of it. I don't know if you'd like to.
Well, he's just walked off. Gave us the collection order. But at least we got him to admit it. We know the phones are here because my GPS tracking says they're here. They just admitted to a federal crime.
Okay, so you want to take care of it Monday then? Tomorrow?
Yeah. I mean, that's all I came here, I got the information I needed to. We know what's going on. He admitted that they seized them, so it's not like they're lost. They know where the phones are at. They seized my phones unlawfully. So now we know. So they just admitted to a crime on the live stream. And this is the
So they're second in command of the sheriff's office.
This is where I had my spill the other night to get the ground right here, and I was transported from right here inside this cave. I was transported to right.
Yeah, this is where, this was the second cage that they threw us in, throwing people around. Yeah, and then there's his buddy Josh. So after Caldwell beat me up, this guy, who was one of his canine officers and is now running the Galveston Humane Society, was flying drones over my property. I was doing some editing in the studio, and my dog got upset. So I let him out, and there was a drone. So I followed the drone, and he was using the Humane Society's equipment to surveil me for Mr. Caldwell there. So, and I think they just sit around and lick each other's boots or Dutch rudder or whatever they do in their free time. So, but that's how thick they are. What's up, guys? Yeah, so they admitted that they've got his phones and that they committed the crime of stealing them, despite him being a journalist. And, you know, it's a Sunday, so I'd imagine that we'll be busy taking care of it. Come Monday, it'll be all right. So this is Caldwell's truck, I do believe. Yeah. Caldwell's 5.5 ton. I don't think that's a deuce and a half. I think that's a 5.5. I'll be able to tell by the axles. Yeah, that's a 5.5 ton or 5 ton. Yeah, that's right. Deuce and a half and 5 ton. It's a 5 ton.
I see inmates over there and barbed wire. You want to walk over there? Or you want to get out of here?
No, let's go walk around a little bit. See how they take care of our facilities.
Just hold on, man. Before we do anything,
I don't know. How would the flow of traffic be? I think we need to be over here.
am I supposed to put my left foot out before my right foot?
No, I think we need to come over here.
Should I walk backwards? John said that's the reason why he didn't get arrested the other night. He walked backwards.
Do we have to do the stanky leg when you cross a crack?
Look, I know how it is. You put your left foot in.
You put your left
foot out. You put your left foot in. And you take it all up out. That's how it's supposed to walk. We should have known better.
What were we thinking? What were we thinking? How bad's the wind, guys? I do not like this phone. So, I think that's where the deputies live. They live in tents.
When they run out of bootlickers' homes to sleep in, they live in tents.
Yeah.
Please, officer. Thank you.
Then here's the Lighthouse Charity Team's rig. So it's highly law enforcement. Yeah, let's just make the loop.
Okay.
Let's just make the loop.
Rooster walking in the middle of the road, man.
not technically a highway. Galveston County employees only. Hey guys. So for those that are unaware, Harvey was arrested Friday for walking the wrong direction on the side of the road. Thinking multiplies.
Yeah, he's over.
They're like Bebe's kids. Yeah. He moved over here pretty quick, didn't he? Well, let's see if we can hear what they have to say about us. So he's running around telling everybody that we're here. Making sure that they don't act naturally. Don't engage the men with cameras. So yeah, these are the city equipment, city buildings, city fuel, pretty basic stuff. They do have signs on everything. They're marking it as employees only, so that makes me think that they probably watch a lot more of our videos than they let on. That's cool. We got a little Saturday market set up over here. That'd be a fun day. Hit the Saturday market and the beach. But yeah, they got their employees only sign. Spreading the love. I love it. Thank you. So I asked Caldwell why they don't have body cams, and he didn't have any explanation for it. I asked a couple of people in the sheriff's department about it, and they said that they wish they had them. Considering the amount of money that they spent repainting cars and buying new uniforms, like, I'll let you all in on a little secret. Those body cams are about, man, I could call it $200 a piece and be on the safe side. How much do you think a new uniform is, or a fresh paint job on a sheriff's car that serves absolutely no purpose other than optics? Whereas the camera, you know, that's a safety thing for both the officers and the citizens. I don't know. Let's ask them. Hey guys. What's that? Okay. You can arrest people for it. You should at least understand. You tried to tell me I was walking on the wrong side of the road. That's what he tried to tell me. Then he had to correct himself. That's some shit right there. I just wanted to have a cordial conversation about body cameras.
when they want to flex and be assholes. That's the problem, guys, right there. Try to be nice and have a conversation, and they want to be dicks about it. The officers that I spoke to in the jail said that they would very much like to have body cameras for the safety, like I said, of both them and their customers, so to speak. And after waving me off and telling me he didn't want to engage with me, he then engaged with me to try and accuse me of a crime. Because that's how their mind works. Not that they can have a conversation with their people, but that we got to figure out what Bruce is doing illegal so that we can arrest him or threaten him or make him feel uncomfortable. I wish you would. Oh. I don't understand why people don't like us and trust us. I promise they've been told not to engage with us. Don't talk to them. On the other hand, if you're one of the other news sources that are approved and approve of everything that they do unconditionally, you're allowed in. Given almost unfettered access. So. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. Trying to tell me how to walk the street. As we're over here making jokes about how much assholes are going to be about it, he turns around and proves me right. Yet again. What a bunch of twats. So I believe now we're going to head towards the old ferry. Oh, look at this. There's Little Miss Don't Mess With Me. They won't even look at it. That's awesome. Wonder why all these sheriffs showed up all of a sudden. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think we're gonna head towards the ferry. Got an affirmative from Harvey. There we go. Green light. Well, we're going to get the final numbers on these arrests. And from what I've been told, the local businesses aren't super stoked about the amount of business they lost over the weekend. It definitely should have been handled better. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This thing has been a shit show in the past. And increasing the presence of law enforcement, I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea. But telling them to just blindly arrest people for anything and everything they can find is tyranny. They corrected one bad situation by creating another. And, it's the old saying, 2 wrongs don't make a right. They overcompensated drastically. The amount of money that they just cost the taxpayers and these businesses for a very small gain, if any. To the best of my knowledge, there wasn't any shootings this weekend, which I do believe there have been for the past 2 years. There have been at least
gun discharges, firearm discharges, but I haven't heard any numbers on that. And considering the bias of the media that is allowed to know those things and privy to their information, it's kind of hard to tell. But I doubt that the arrest numbers went down that much. So I'm curious at what cost this came. How many millions of dollars were lost? So, anyway, we'll have us a nice little drive up here to the ferry. No cop cars are picking up barriers. Right over to the left is the Margaritaville RV Resort. It's kind of a neat thing. Oh wow, they have a decent amount of bands and stuff that come in here. That's kind of cool. Oh, and they rent RVs. Those are all the exact same RV. Wow. Okay. Guys, I think I'm going to just go ahead and let this roll us to the ferry. Got any chattiness, let me know. For anybody just coming in, run back to the front of the video. That was actually fairly interesting. I'll edit and rehash that. But as we were walking around and I attempted to have a conversation with a couple of the sheriff's deputies about body cams and how they felt about it, they tried to get me for walking down the wrong side of the road when I was on the correct side of the road. And then he had to correct himself. It's quite comical. Right on. Yeah, when we go across the ferry and stuff, it's kind of neat. And the drive's kind of nice. Knocked a little sand off that white line. Don't want anybody to have difficulties locating it. Came off the ferry, it looked like the line to get off the island was probably at least an hour, if not two. So curious how far it's backed up when we get there. This island's still got a lot of cattle ranches, and there's some oil rigs out here still. This is kind of what Galveston was like maybe 30, 40 years ago, with the exception of all the new houses after it is. And you know how it is when you get a storm swell pushing water in, all the stuff gets wet pretty quick. It's a little deceiving. So this isn't actually an island. I typically refer to it as an island, and it's a peninsula. You can enter it off of dry land on the other side. Well, I guess technically, because the ICW goes underneath there, and there's a bridge. So yeah, I don't know that it was originally an island. Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh no, there's one right behind me. So yeah, they're trying to do something. They're trying to make something happen. I'd flip the screen, but I'm afraid if I touch that with him behind me, that he's gonna assume that I'm making phone calls or messing around with something. Being a distracted driver, so wish voice controls did a little bit more. So I don't know how many of these they've got just stationed out along the road. Just waiting. So I'm not even doing the speed limit, and this guy's sitting behind me. They're obviously trying to get us for something. I can't read the chats now, guys. We'll have to catch up when we get to the ferry. In 2 miles. Oh, there he goes over the line. Running my tags. Too busy playing with his computer to pay attention to the road. Are you in my chat or Harvey's chat, officer? Stay in your lane. There's no slow down sign here, but I know that this is a 45. Like they have the blinkers, but there's no sign there marking what speed they actually want you at. And there's two more piggies right there. Let me see here. Where does this go? Oh, lane 3. Okay, I just saw the numbers. Thanks again. Oh, yeah? Was that black one that was by me, or is there another one behind us? Because Harvey wasn't that far behind me, I didn't think. That one was driving all over the road trying to get my information. That old hornet's nest. Okay. Thanks, Bert. Okay. All right, I hear sirens. I wonder if they're coming from me. No, that's a ambulance. Okay, there's the white one. No, wait. Is that the one from up there? Thanks for the heads up, though, guys. I didn't even notice he was behind me. No, this ferry's actually free. Yeah, those are the guys. They were just there where we were at. Oh, there we go. Friends in code. Thanks. I wasn't able to read because I was busy driving and not getting pulled over. Thanks, Friends in Code. Man, I wanted to chat with you. I've had some stuff going on. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things and wanted to touch base with you. So let's try and communicate next week. Sorry, what was that about New Jersey? That sounds like a relationship. It's free to show up, but you got to pay to get out. Yeah. Well, I hope Harvey and I end up on the same ferry. Boy, that sounded horrible. Especially after us both spending the night in county. Oh, okay. I have a very distinct presence now that I pulled the back window out because my key fobs all went to crap on everything. Key fob went to crap on my Cummins, won't even recognize the truck, left me stranded at the ATM while I was getting cash to get it registered because they charge you $4 to use anything but cash. Then the key fob died on this. Luckily, I had an alternative route. On Harvey's live stream, if you run into it, you can watch chubby gymnastics as I crawl through the back window of the minivan. Oh, there's a preferential treatment lane. Hey, Boko. man. Gosh. Yeah. Yeah. American Ninja Warrior, the Chris Farley edition. Beverly Hills Ninja Warrior, I do believe, is how it would be referred to. Man, I wonder if they're sitting on top of my car, crapping all over the place. I think we're out another round. That's alright. If I'm only one ferry behind, that's okay. You know, by himself, David Spade is not necessarily my favorite, but I think him and Farley bounce off of each other fairly well. I had a friend that on this ferry that the things were everywhere. And he threw a fry on the dash, got one inside of his father-in-law's truck. So when his father-in-law got back in his truck, there was a seagull sitting next to him. You want to talk about pandemonium? Hoorah. That thing's just taking off. Wonder if the ambulance was loaded. When I get back, I'm going to look up this statue. It was quoted to me at the that illegal checkpoint, but I'm pretty sure it's 521.025 maybe. they can't charge you with any of that without a valid traffic stop. It wasn't a valid traffic stop. So that's kind of interesting. We'll see how that rolls out. Every time I get a new phone, it's a mixed blessing. I have to reload apps, but a lot of the apps that I just don't use get weeded out. So I guess double-edged sword. It's still annoying. But not as annoying as having this crappy camera. This one's got shitty lens in it. Once we get on the ferry, there'll at least be some cool things to take pictures of. I'll run up to the upper deck. I don't know how many of you that were there for Harvey's earlier, but every trip over you kind of see something new. If you're just joining us, shooting back to the first 10 or 15 minutes, was it interesting? The rest has been us driving up to this point. And Harvey's live right behind me somewhere. I appreciate everybody coming in, especially since my channel's been inactive. We'll cover some more of that by the end of the week, hopefully. And fire things back up. It'll all be clear. That's interesting. It almost looks like they got two ferries coming in. Or is that a tug? Hmm? For those that don't know, I'm a bit of a sailing dork. Whenever possible, I like to jump on a boat, crew. Sometimes it costs me a plane ticket, sometimes not. But crewing a boat is usually free with food, so it's worth the flight out. If you're into sailing, I'm a sailboat guy. Not that I wouldn't help crew a powerboat. These guys that like run security and point the way here on the ferries, man, they just stand out in the sun all day long. Pretty much like flagger work. I wonder how much water you go through, man. Holy crap. Even when I worked outside, I tried to find shade as much as possible. almost onto the ferry, guys. We get more entertaining. It's hard to accomplish. Staring at this guy's almost. Oklahoma. Yeah, I think Harvey and I are going to end up on the same ferry. I don't know how far back he is. Maybe we can't do that far. What's his name? How are all these cars in that lot? Huh. They're actually running these ferries pretty quick. Pretty quick. This one's loading up, and that one's getting ready to drop off. So. When we came off this morning at 10 or so, it was backed up a couple miles. Kind of cool if they ran one of these ferries like up and down the ship channel. Yeah, it'd be fun. Take the ferry up to Houston. There are other points in between. Oh, I don't think Harvey made it on with me. Well, maybe we will. Yeah, y'all see that? That's what happens when anybody comes by with an orange vest.
really sucks on construction sites or side of the road stuff. Thing brights out the camera. As soon as this starts moving, we're allowed to get out of the car. Do a little longer. Right over there, you can just barely see the backwash on the back of the other barge as it's pulling in. It's pretty cool. Way out there. We're talking about putting in a giant gate here to keep storm surges out. Oh, look at this. I got a sheriff behind me walking around. Two sheriffs walking around. Everybody else has to stay in their cars. But when you're a sheriff, you get to do what you want. God, they hate it when they're on camera, don't they? What a bunch of pooty poos. They come at me with cameras and handguns. Did he say start your engines? Interesting. They usually tell you to wait until the ferry's moving to get out, and this guy's just like, yeah, get out and wander around. So that's pretty cool. Hey. I think I just saw a dolphin cruise by. Oh, there's Harvey. Oh, wrong button. He was like 5 cars behind me. There he is right now, passing in front of the red section. Oh, and it's the robber. That's cool. I wonder if this is the blues. They have everybody shut off their cars, so you gotta roll your windows down or else you're gonna cook. Oh, there's a paddy wagon. There's our preferred preference drivers.
It's loaded down. It's taking water over the bow. That's wild. What's right up there is actually the hull of a ferry cement battleship that was sunk here. If memory serves correctly, it was sunk intentionally. I don't know what kind of storm we had, but there's a lot of debris in the water. That's a pretty good sized log. If I was in a fiberglass boat, that would make me nervous as hell. And over there, that yellow one is another ferry going back and forth. I mean, these things run all day long. Hopefully we'll get a little bit closer to that thing. Apologize for the wind, but here for the view. In the back you can see where the cruise ships go. You can see those ponds there. It's a busy shipping channel. There's that old ferry boat. Shit. To protect and serve. Oh, sorry about that, man. Mercedes. So there's a really cool park here. Lots of good fishing. Pelican Island is what it's called. We've got a submarine and an old battleship. I'm not sure what the touring schedule is on them. Kind of cool. There's where we're gonna land, so. I don't want to pull a Harvey and not have the keys in my rig.
to the content, please return to your vehicle at this time. If you have lost on and you are walking off the Galveston, you need to be downstairs at the front of the boat. Go outside. Please stand there. Please wait there. Still, we have made the landing. You will be exiting first. Do not remain upstairs. You do not stand on a broken stairway. Proceed downstairs to your vehicle. Look downstairs next to the right corner. Turn the keyboard ready to walk off. Thank you.
I wonder how many times somebody gets stuck upstairs or in the bathroom or something and holds up the whole shenanigans show. Gate's already up. These guys are remarkably efficient. Everybody that's just joining in, the first 10 or 20 minutes is pretty interesting. The live stream, the rest of it is just kind of working our way down the island and hopping on the ferry. The sheriff's department showing their ass as usual, under the direct supervision of Caldwell, being straight twats. Started giving me orders about which way to walk down the road, and then after warning me about doing it incorrectly, realized that I was doing it correctly, crawfished out of it. and then got upset when I told him if he's going to give people tickets for it, he needs to know what he's talking about. He engaged me and started being a dick, and then got sideways when I expressed my lack of joy. This right here is an area we get a lot of calls to. I don't know the streets very well, so I miss them sometimes, thinking that they're off island. I'm gonna pull in up here. I shut down the live. Catch up with Harvey. I want to go home. That night in jail, I need a shower and a nap. Anybody else in Harvey's chat, tell him I'm sitting right up here. I'm gonna wait for him to cruise by. I just kind of wanted to check on a couple things. That's interesting. I do some dumpster stuff. I thought our dumpsters were gonna be there. I guess. There's Stewart Beach, y'all. I'm out for the day, or at least for the time being. Thank you all for joining. Later.